Hi everyone, my name is Vendik and you're welcome to the channel. So today we are going to basically discuss how to grow a small Forex account very quickly, right? I know it might not be actually what you are looking at, but before we get into this, okay, let me lay out some facts that you need to have at hand, like things that should be available before you attempt this, right? Because I had a whole lot of persons asking me this particular question within the holiday. So I decided to make this video. Okay, so let's say if you want to get into this, first you need to have a strategy, like a proven strategy, all right, that you have at least 50% win rate. What does this mean? If you are placing 100 trades, that means 50% of it is a winning trade, and then 50% of it you can lose it, no problem. All right. So make sure at least the strategy you are going to use on this, okay, you have at least 50% win rate. And then the risk to reward ratio should be 1:2, minimum of 1:2. Can be having 1:3, 1:4, no problem, but minimum of 1:2. So if you have a strategy that gives you 50% win rate, and then you are risking 1% to have 2%, like 1:2 risk to reward ratio, then you are good to go on this, right? So if you can do this, if you can get this particular strategy in check, right, then you can go ahead with this particular video. Another thing we really need to focus on is risk management. When it comes to risk management, all right, naturally, or in the whole industry, people tell you, okay, risk 1%, risk 0.5%, risk what did they call it? Risk 2%. Okay, if you risk those kind of amounts on a $100 account, you are going to mess up your psychology, because the time you put in and what is bringing forth not corresponding. So you tend to be so impatient that some days you just over leverage and then mess up the whole system. Okay, so this is what I want to do. All right, because if actually you know what you are doing, all right, this will really make a whole lot of sense. I'm actually going to go against the natural way of people telling you to risk 1% per trade. Okay, I'm really going to go against that, right? So let's as we are in the charts now, I'll just try and explain something. All right, just look at this chart. Let me explain. Right, so if you have a 100 you have a $100 balance. Okay, you have a $100 balance. I want you to risk 10% of it, which is going to be $10, right, on your first trade. Okay, risk 10% of that account, which is going to you are going to risk $10, right? I'm not going to focus on the advantage of it. I'm just going to talk more of the disadvantage of it, right? So that you actually have a clear idea of what you're about to get into. So if you are risking 10% of that account, right? Let's assume you lose this trade. Okay, you are going to be left with $90. Okay, you are going to be left with $90. So if you risk $90, you risk 10% of $90. That means you are risking $9, not $10 again. When people say risking 10% per trade, means you keep on risking initial balance that you had when you deposit. It's going to take you only 9 trades and you blow up this account. There is no how, if you have a proven strategy, that you are going to hit back-to-back loss, okay, up to 7 or 10 times on a row. It's not going to happen. Okay. So I think this is an ideal way of someone getting into trade. All right. It's really an ideal way of someone getting into trade and then stay there for long. Right. It's a very good way of someone getting into trade, using this process to understand the market and understand the system and how it will grow himself, so that when you have this big capital that you are trading, you will get clarity on how these things works. All right. So if you are risking 10% of your balance, you are going to actually place a whole lot of trade before you think of blowing off that account. So in a nutshell, it's impossible for you to lose this account if you are following this risk management. I know it's not generally accepted, but you can just do this Just try and do this, test this thing and see how it goes. All right. So, but first, and another thing, if you need to be systematic about it, like make sure you stick to the rules you write down, okay, on your why I'm not laying emphasis on trading strategies, because a whole lot of person will come across this video and most of them are not in my community and not they are not trading the exact same thing I'm trading. So, but if you are not in my community and then you don't have a proven strategy, I will tell you that you should come to a YouTube trading community, pick up the strategy I'm trading. I'm trading setup one. Okay, it's a price action trading strategy. So just I can guarantee you, no matter how bad you are in making decision, you will get at least 45 to 50% win rate on this particular thing. Okay? If you are consistent enough and you really understand the system, right, you see that we are actually running at 70% win rate, which is massively. So what I'm trying to say is that if you don't have a proven strategy, you can come and check it out in our YouTube. That's one. And then two is that don't take someone's word for it. I don't know how I can lay emphasis on. Don't take anybody's word. Okay, backtest it by yourself. When you backtest it by yourself, derive the data by yourself, and this is what will actually develop that confidence you have. So if it is for you to maybe get one of these paid simulation trading this thing, or you can do it manually, you can just spend time and do it manually. It's all the same thing, but backtest it. Then after backtesting, forward test at least 20 to 40 trade with, so that you can derive the data to work with. You understand? So that's it. So if you reach 10% of your balance, you know that you have a whole long way to go. And then I think this answered most of the questions that I got within the holiday. So okay, so if you find value out of this content, don't forget to do the YouTube business, and I will see you in the next episode. So this year we are going to work on a live stream and then laying more emphasis on what we are trading. So all our videos is based on price action. So if you are thinking of trading price action, I can tell you that you are fully welcome here. And then please make sure you share and then like, don't just watch. Okay, support the little YouTube channel so that we can get to our 1K as fast as possible. All right. I'll see you in the next episode. Peace out.